San Francisco is by far one of the worst cities to even go as a tourist. I mean, even as a tourist, if you go there, most of the stores are pretty much just empty. A lot of businesses are moving out. And the majority of the tech companies and startups are moving to places like Nevada, Texas, and Florida. And even Miami is kind of dubbed like the Wall Street of the South, the new startup capital of the US, and for good reason. Low taxes, there's no homeless tents everywhere, there's no open air drug markets everywhere. Downtown Miami is actually a very nice and very vibrant place with really great nightlife. And why would anyone live in San Francisco, right? So now San Francisco, they are losing businesses by the fistful. Guys, we're not talking about a couple mom and pop stores leaving. We're talking about Nordstrom, Uniqlo, Anthropologie. We're looking at AT&T moving out. Whole Foods is moving out. These are really big anchor stores that are leaving. Every single major city has anchor stores. But the difference with San Francisco's anchor stores and other city anchor stores is San Francisco is the only major city in the US where anchor stores are leaving. Even Chicago and LA, as many problems that they have, they are not seeing anchor stores leaving. In fact, the tourism in a lot of those other cities, despite their problems, it's not even that bad. But San Francisco's problems are so bad that it's intolerable. And San Francisco's DA's drug program directs users to treatment, but they're not showing up. In fact, there seems to be so many things in San Francisco that is doing wrong. And none of the stuff that they ever proposed are being reinforced. Right now, I've been seeing San Francisco ads on my smartphone every single day to tell me to move there, work there, and at the very least go there for vacation. But there's no way in hell that I'm doing that when the streets are littered with drugs, crime, tent encampments everywhere. I mean, the amount of tourism in San Francisco, according to statistics, has dropped 16%. But if you ask some of the tourists and some of the locals in the area, they say that tourism has dropped like 30, 40, even 50% in some areas. Especially some areas have already experienced a lot of homeless encampments. I mean, imagine homeless encampments at tourist traps. That's bad. So you do have, just a whole mess and skew of things. It's not even that great. So now San Diego actually has an extremely vibrant tourism industry, and they see San Francisco as a major competitor, and they suddenly see San Francisco dying because of so many homeless encampments. The city doesn't care. The city doesn't do anything. There might be like 10 camps right in front of a business. You call the police, you call the city, nothing ever gets done. That business eventually doesn't make that much money. They leave. This affects tourism, and it's not great overall. San Diego is a massive city in the US, and they rely very heavily on the tourism industry. Great beaches, great weather, and a vibrant downtown. Not to mention they're very close to Tijuana, Mexico. You just cross the border, so you get like flavors of two cities, right? You get a little bit of Mexico, a little bit of California, and they're all jumbled together. So San Diego's a massive tourist spot. A lot of people who go to Tijuana, they like to go to San Diego, look around, they go to Tijuana. So it's like a really good tourist area, and they are freaked out right now. San Diego actually saw a lot of homeless encampments encroaching on the downtowns of the city, and eventually San Diego has fully banned homeless encampments in public spaces. Now, for some reason, this is controversial. I'm not entirely sure why. And also, this barely got passed, okay? This wasn't like an overwhelmingly majority vote where most people voted for the ban of homeless encampments. This was won by an extra vote. That was it. So it barely got passed. It's very controversial for some reason, but here's my take on it. I mean, you can have homeless encampments just in random places in the city. It really does affect businesses. A great example, like I said before, is San Francisco, where the homeless has virtually taken over several of the big streets and retail stores. It's a big turnoff. So the city eventually dies, and you can't even help the homeless people in that city because the city goes broke. The only way for these cities to make money is to have as many big businesses in the area as possible and tax them and use the tax revenue to help the homeless individuals. You can't just have homeless encampments everywhere. The tourist industry will absolutely be dead. And if you look at San Francisco, I mean, you already have park hotels and resorts closing down and defaulting on nearly $1 billion of loans. Westview Mall has shut down in San Francisco. Retail stores, mom and pop stores are all leaving. Guys, things like this is also very dangerous. Homeless encampment fires are plaguing residents of San Francisco's Tenderloin district. Guys, this is like something out of like a third world country at this point. And San Francisco's Tenderloin district has never been cleaned up. Okay, there is no ban on tents in San Francisco. The Tenderloin district has been an open air drug market for several decades. I'm not sure how they're this incompetent in fixing the problem when you have several decades to do it. You have a lot of money from startups they've taxed, and nothing's ever been done. And people, for the first time in several decades in San Francisco, people are sick of it and they're leaving out in droves. And like I said before in the previous videos, I love San Francisco. This is one of my favorite cities to visit pre-pandemic. Sure, back then had a lot of its problems, but I try to ignore them. But San Francisco would honestly be such a fantastic place if they would just clean up the homelessness, okay, provide some services, really reinforce some of just some regular stuff. Okay, San Francisco, if just like a normal city doing normal things and just be rational, I think it would be a great city. Okay, the location's incredible. Okay, it's like a peninsula. You got 2 bridges. You know, you go right, there's Oakland, and you go like north, you go to Napa Valley, Wine County, go down, you got Silicon Valley. Like the location's insane. The weather is great all year round, and the culture is rich. Okay, but right now it's not really a great place to visit, not a great place to have a startup. Now, don't be fooled. A lot of people tell you, oh, San Francisco is getting a bunch of AI companies coming in. Yeah, like 2 AI companies and then like 10 leaving. This is not a city where people are flowing in. In fact, the Bay Area and especially San Francisco are some of the slowest places in America to recover. Not to mention the number 1 place in America where the population is decreasing. People are saying that San Francisco will never die, the Bay Area will never die because of the tech companies. Well, guess what? San Francisco and basically the rest of the Bay Area ran themselves to the ground. This could be another Detroit 2.0, especially with property values dropping 50 to 75% in some areas in San Francisco. We're talking about like the office properties, by the way. And housing is dropping double digits even now when places in the Midwest and Florida are actually going up in value. It's crazy. And you also have like all this stuff, okay? Like people, when they first go to San Francisco, first thing they see is just feces, urine, drugs, crime, homelessness, camps. And it's not a great sign. There's a lot of people coming to California for vacation from places like Japan, Korea, China. You know, a lot of Asian countries like to go to California for vacation. And I asked them how they feel about it. They said there's too many homeless people. It's like crazy because back in their country, they don't have that kind of stuff in downtown. Only in San Francisco, guys. Only in California. I don't know what to say. They really need to clean this up. And I feel like if they do clean it up, I guarantee you, so many people will start flooding back to San Francisco. San Francisco is having a slow death. As retail stores leave, as tech companies leave, startups are leaving, venture capital funds are leaving for other places like Miami and Austin, this city is slowly dying. Apparently, if you go to some of the hottest downtown areas in San Francisco, every 3 first-floor retail stores, 2 are empty. And people are like, oh, this won't be coming up to Detroit. This will eventually cover, you know, it's not that bad. Guys, it is bad. Okay, go there. Go watch some of the walking tours. Go ask some of the residents. None of them are pleased about the city. And just walk there. Walk through the streets. I've shown several clips. It is dirty. It's filthy. Stores are closed everywhere. There's not even that many tourism. You know, not even that many people on the streets. Okay, a lot of people are actually moving out to other parts of California at least. So this is not great. Just be careful. This may become the next Detroit. And it's getting very close when malls are closing, movie theaters are closing, and grocery stores are closing. It's bad.